Change or die. It's more than just the ranting of a CEO. It's more than just a topic for a slick motivational speaker. It's actually the way of life is change or die. How many of you have ever heard of this small community college called Johns Hopkins? What an amazing university. What are they notorious for? They're notorious for having pioneered open heart surgery. I read an article in 2005 in Fast Company magazine. It was actually excerpted from the book Change or Die. You should get the book Change or Die. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book and what I learned from the book Change or Die. Here's what they found out. They said that in open heart surgeries, angioplastic procedures, that about 1.9 million people a year have this. 600,000 people have open heart surgeries, 1.3 million have angioplastic procedures. That's about 2 million people a year. So they did a 10-year study, and the study was this. They said, first of all, what causes these? And they found out that the major cause of heart disease, the major cause of all the open heart surgeries wasn't actually genetic, it was actually behaviors. What do I mean by about a behavior? Smoking, overeating, substance abuse, lack of exercise, stress that came from lack of exercise. And they said essentially all open heart procedures had nothing to do with genetics, it had everything to do with the behaviors and the way that people were responding to their life. Now here's one of the amazing things. 1.9 million people a year have this. They do 10-year study. That's almost 20 million people. 19 million people are studied over 10 years. And they want to find out one thing. They said, what happens when a person has open heart surgery? First of all, here's what happens. First of all, it's going to cost you about $100,000, an immense amount of money. Secondly, here's what's going to happen. They're going to put you under, and then they're going to open you up from here to here. And after they open you up from here to here, they break your breastbone. Now, I know this is getting graphic, but here's what happens. Then they break your breastbone, and they put a chest expander in here. And then what do? They reach in, grab a few veins from another part of the body, they reach in, and they sew you back up, and they put you through rehab for 120 to 180 days. And what happens for the average person? They change their behaviors. Well, what do you mean? They stop smoking, they stop drinking, they stop overeating, they start their exercise campaign, and they really do make a significant change. But here's what happens. Here's what they found out. Within 2 years, 90% of the people go right back to what they were doing. Within 2 years, they go right back. Well, what's the story? What's the analogy? The analogy in the story comes down to this. People do not change. People essentially continue on in their life doing the same thing over and over, as Einstein said, or whoever you want to quote that statistic to, but doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And here's what happens. It's all about the change here. The only constant in life is change. And so we know through Johns Hopkins is this, is that essentially people don't change. If you're an employer right now and you're expecting your employees to make a change, you have a 90% probability they're not. If you're married right now and you're saying the only way I'm going to be happy is my spouse and or significant other and or child and or employer and or employee makes a change, that's the only way I'll be happy, you have a 90% probability you're not going to be happy. Why? Because people don't change because you want them to. They change because they want to. You think I'm kidding about this whole thing about change. Watch this. 24% of the American population smoke cigarettes. You light up a tar doobie, man, you're destined. You are destined to die. It takes off minutes of your life over and over. 61% of the American population is overweight. Now watch this. We're killing ourselves. We actually dig our graves with our teeth with this. Hey, by the way, a sidebar. How many of you'd like to lose some weight? Because I've got the diet of diets. You want to hear a great diet? Here it is. Every meal is not the last supper. It's an amazing thing here, and we do know this, man, you weigh what you weigh because you decide to weigh that. How do I know that? How many of you have ever accidentally had a cheeseburger fall into your mouth? Answer, never. Now watch this. So everything it is, people go, I don't like what I weigh. Who ate the food? Now here's the deal. You want to be thin, but you got to go to the gym. That requires a what? A change. Now watch this. You tell me you want to make money, and I go, okay, we got to make some what? Changes. You tell me you want your business to get better, and I go, okay, we've got to make changes, but 90% of you aren't going to make the change. That's my biggest challenge that I deal with every day in education is, watch this, essentially I have to get you to change your behaviors. I have to get you the way you think, act, respond. Everything about it has to make a change. Now, I can teach you how to change. I can teach you how to change. I can give you the formulas for success for this, but I can't give you the drive and the ambition to want to change. So if you want a different result, you've got to do a different approach. Watch this. Situations don't improve, you improve. Circumstances don't change, you change. It's an amazing concept here, but it's all about changing or it's all about the death of you.